Hi everyone, it's Paddy here from arithmetichub.com, thanking you for choosing this video, but reminding you that whilst this is one method to solve questions like this, it's not the only method. With that being said, let's explore this concept a little bit further.
Hi there everyone, so today we're having a look at finish the sequence questions, or sequencing questions, okay? These types of questions often look something like this: finish the sequence, and then you've got a list of numbers and some missing boxes. Now sometimes these can be different sequences each time, sometimes they can be multiplying, sometimes they can be adding different amounts each time as you go up. When we're doing our calculations, so for these loads of calculations that we are doing, they're not going to change. All it's going to be is the sequence is going to be exactly the same and you annotate on. But if you were to do some different types of calculations with sequencing, that's not to say that would be the only way that this would be done. But this method will still help you out because annotating on is going to really help you with these types of sequencing questions. So let's start off by having a look at the method. The first part of the method says what we need to do is find two numbers next to each other and annotate on the jumps. So here, we can't use this 4 to start with because we've not got a number next to the 4. We don't have enough information to say the 4, well, what we would add to the 4 to get this missing number over here. So what we would need to do is find two numbers next to each other and annotate on the jumps. Now we're going to call each of these the jumps, okay? We could call them something else, but the jumps just make sense, doesn't it? Because this is what we're doing, we're jumping between these numbers. So we're just going to call these the jumps. Now 12 and 16 are next to each other. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, right, what have I had to add to 12 to get to 16? 12 in my head, 13, 14, 15, 16. I've added 4, okay? So I've annotated on the jump, okay? Let's check if there's any other bits of this method that we need to remember first. The second part says remember to subtract if you're going backwards. So we might need to do that in a minute, but not just yet. Number 3 says, check your answer. Remember, your answer doesn't always start at 1 times the number. Okay, that's something to think about later. For now though, let's carry on from where we left off. We've said, to get from 12 to 16, what we need to do is add 4. 12 add 4 is going to get us to 16. Now what's really helpful in this question is we've got another number next to it as part of the given information. Part of the information we already know. And then the next number is 20. So what we can do is we can see, right, I've added 4 to 12 to get to 16. Now let's see what I add to 16 to get to 20. 16 in my head, 17, 18, 19, 20. I've added 4 again, haven't I? So now what would make sense is to say, right, okay, I know I've added 4 on each of these jumps, so I'm going to have to continue to add 4. So we've added 4 here, we've added 4 here. Now what I'm going to do is say 20 add 4. 20 add 4 is going to give me 24. Now, what's really helpful about these sequencing questions, we can do a little bit of extra checking as well with a little bit more annotation. Now, this does take a little bit more time, but what it does is it makes you sure that you are right with these types of answers, okay? So this was 24, we filled in the blank. Let's just check. If we add 4 again, it gets us to our next number. Our next number is 28. So if I add another 4, 24 add 4. Let's see if it brings us to 28. 24 in our head. 25, 26, 27, 28. So it does make sense. So we know we've added 4 each time. Now we have 2 options to fill in our final blank. What I could do is I could say 4, add 4, and go this way. And I could say 4 add 4 is going to give me 8. 8 add 4. Does that give me 12? 8 in my head. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, 8 add 4 gives me 12. There is another way we can do this as well though. We could also do it this way. We could subtract from 12. So we know for all of these we've added 4 on because we were going forwards in our sequence and our numbers were getting bigger. This time we're going backwards, so our numbers are going to get smaller. So we can subtract. We've added 4 on all of these, so what one jump backwards should be subtract 4. So now we need to have 12 in our head and take 4 away. 12 take away 4 is going to give me 11, 10, 9, 8. 8 is our answer over here. And now we can carry on going backwards and see if that makes sense. Take 4 away again. 8 take away 4, 8 in our head, 7, 6, 5, 4. So we have got 4 as our answer. So we could go backwards or forwards. Either way is fine. We just need to make sure we've annotated on, okay? Let's have a look at this one. Finish the sequence. Now, this is a lot harder because we've got 2 missing numbers at the start. We've got a number here and then another missing number. So we need to stick to our method here to be able to find out, okay? Find 2 numbers next to each other and annotate on the jumps. Well, there's only one part where there are 2 numbers next to each other, aren't there? We've got 21 and 24 here. So we would see what we've added to these. Let me just check the rest of our method. Remember to subtract if I'm going backwards. I'm not doing that yet. Check your answer. Remember, your answer doesn't always start at one time. So we did that over here when we went forwards and backwards. Okay, so 21 to 24. Let's see what we've had to add. Well, to get from 21 to 24, 21 in my head, 22, 23, 24. I've added 3. Now, there's lots of different ways we can do this next because we've got so little information to see if it works. I could say, okay, I'm just going to add 3 on and just put my answer in over here. But I actually think the best way to do this now would be to go back to this 15 and say, right, let's have a look if this works. I'm going to add 3 to 15. 15 add 3 is going to give me 16, 17, 18. And then I'm going to say, right, I'm going to add 3 again and hope that my next 3 that I've added is going to get me to 21. 18 in my head, 19, 20, 21. Does this make sense? 15, 18, 21, 24. And what some of you may start to do is go, I know that pattern. What times table is that in? Oh, it's in my 3s, isn't it? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24. I know these as my 3s. I know I can add another 3 here. It's going to give me 27 because that's what our 3 times tables are, isn't it? It's just repeated addition of 3. We just keep adding 3 on. So we've got all of these we know are correct because we've added 3 on each time. Now we need to find what these missing 2 are. So all I would do is I'm going to go backwards now. Focusing on my method, remember to subtract if you're going backwards. I've added 3 over here, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take 3 away. 15 take away 3, 15 in my head, 14, 13, 12. Again, I'm going to take away 3, 12 in my head, 11, 10, 9. Take away 3 again. Let's see if that makes sense. 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. Still in my 3 times tables. If we started from the start, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27. So I've checked my answer and it makes sense. Here, where it says, remember your answer doesn't always start at 1 times the number, it was the 3 times tables, but it didn't start at 1 times 3 there, did it? It started at 9, but it was still the 3 times tables for our sequence. We were just adding 3 each time.
If you found this video useful, then I would massively appreciate you liking the video and subscribing to the channel. If you want to explore more methods or practice using the method we've looked at here, why not check out the teacher videos at arithmetichub.com. Arithmetic Hub has videos just like this on different methods, specifically targeting areas needed in Key Stage 2. There you can practice one particular skill or generate your own sets of calculations designed to challenge your understanding of all the topics covered in Years 3 to 6.